Good evening, everybody. I don't like using gavels. We'll call the meeting to order at 5:31. And if we could get a roll call.
Alicia Purcell. Here. Thank you. Katie McClendon. Melinda Opperman.
Here.
Thank you. Jamie Appetit Sack.
Paspathia Sachs, good here.
Mary Jackson. Doreen Soldier. Robin Gilliland. Amber Smalley. Lisa Castillo.
Present.
Thank you. Marjorie McPie. Bridget Moore. Bridget Moore.
Here.
Oh, she's such a-
Here.
Laura Ortiz Gonzalez. Laura Ortiz Gonzalez. Ariel Wilfried Bishop Williams. Ariana Rodriguez.
Here.
Brett Rodriguez.
Here.
Eric Anthony Davison.
Here.
Thank you. Pauline Wallace.
Here.
Thank you. Takuba Brown.
Yes.
Thank you. Edgar Garcia.
Here.
Thank you. We met.
Thank you. All right, moving on to item 1.2, CAC vacancies. Emma?
Uni, you didn't call my name. This is Doreen, Commissioner Soiber.
Yes, thank you. Commissioner Doran, I will mark you present. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, pursuant to our organizational standard 5.5, I am providing an update to the commission on our vacancies. We currently have one vacancy for the commission in District 3 private sector. Should I just jump into 1.3? It's related. Okay. We have worked with Supervisor Washington's office in identifying a candidate who will be going to the board. Do you remember the date? The
July 28th.
Oh, thank you. July 28th. Oh, it's right there. Sorry. This individual's name is Kimberly Garish. She was selected by Supervisor's office and she is a former CEO for Michelle's Place, which is an organization that serves low-income individuals and provides advocacy for individuals who have experienced a diagnosis of cancer. Is she currently on? So Kim Garish has served as executive director of Michelle's Place Cancer Research Center for 23 years. She led the organization from a small breast cancer support center into a full-service cancer resource center serving Riverside, San Bernardino, and North San Diego counties. Under her leadership, Michelle's Place has expanded its programs to provide comprehensive support services for individuals and families facing all types of cancer, including patient navigation, behavioral health services, transportation assistance, financial assistance, and survivorship programs. Kim is recognized throughout the region for her dedication to ensuring that no one faces cancer alone, and for her commitment to improving the quality of life for cancer patients, survivors, and their families. We were hoping that she could be here today to introduce herself, but hopefully she will be at our next commissioner meeting so that you can all meet her. Thank you.
Any questions? All right, item 1.4 is the introduction of the CSD field representative. I'm not even going to try the last names.
Talk a little louder.
Yes, I think it's
Susan, are you on?
Susan.
Yeah.
Miss Susan.
Oh, hi. Yes, everyone. Let me turn on my camera, see if you guys can see me or not. But hi, Good evening, everyone. So I just wanted to pop in today. I am your CSBG field representative. So I have been helping your leadership team now for, there's been a couple of transitions that had happened. So, but altogether, a little over 2 years now. So I'm here today. The purpose of today's, of me being here is just to observe how your board kind of functions. I'm just seeing if there are certain things that are being kind of like met at this meeting, because I am preparing to do an on-site monitoring over there in sometime in the late September. So this is part of that on-site monitoring. So I'll be going over a couple of documents and policies and procedures with Cap Riverside's leadership team, including client files, fiscal documents, and documents and procedures related to board, how the board functions as well. So I'm just here today to kind of be like a fly on the wall, kind of just monitoring and just observing today. So just wanted to let everybody be kind of aware. And I don't know if you guys are going to be attending any of the attending the on-site monitoring entrance conference, but you guys are also more than welcome to also attend that as well. And yeah, so happy to be here with you all.
Thank you, Susan. You're welcome. Any questions or?
What conference?
Our audit entrance conference.
Oh, where you're going here?
It's to be scheduled, yeah, but it'll take place here. It's
Oh.
typically just going over our contract and what they're gonna be looking for in terms of our programming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 2 is public comment. We didn't receive any prior to the meeting, correct? And is there any public comments online? Seeing the hands. Right, we'll move to item number 3, which is the consent item, and this 3.1 is the approval of the April 16th, 2026 minutes. Were there any corrections, additions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve.
I make the motion.
Oh.
Did someone already make it? I can't really hear them.
Yeah,
Well, I'll second.
okay.
Okay.
All right, any further discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, those pass. Moving on to our item number 4 is our partner spotlight. Too many meetings today. And honored to have our workforce development division here with the Deputy Director Stephanie Adams. Take it away.
All right, good evening. How is everyone today?
Great.
Great. First and foremost, I want to thank you for having me. How many people have heard of county workforce development programs or workforce development boards? Okay, so a good portion of you. Great, that's good to hear. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys a high-level overview of what we have going on right now. So essentially here at Workforce Development, we're kind of divided into what I call like 3 different units. We have programs for adult job seekers, youth job seekers ages 16 to 24, and then our business services. We'll spend most of the time right now talking about our adult job seeker services, but I'm going to give you just an overview of the other 2 programs that we have. So for like our business services, what their sole mission is to help businesses grow and expand, because that in return creates more jobs for us. So they customize their services to anything pretty much that the businesses need. So if you're a business owner yourself or you know of a business, we have a lot of great programs where if you're hiring, we can reimburse 50% of a new hire's wages, provided that you're teaching them some type of like in-demand skill. Very easy to qualify for. A lot of businesses take advantage of that program because in return, it helps them expand their footprint. So like, that leaves them sometimes with funds to hire a qualified trainer, or maybe it's buy additional office space or machinery, whatever kind of work that they're in. So really popular with a lot of businesses. Businesses that are hiring like by the mass, we can come in and help like review resumes, do applicant screening, things like that. And we can also refer candidates to businesses and then Unfortunately, we do have programs for businesses that are downsizing to also help them. So that's in a very high level overview of our business service programs. And then we have our youth services. So we have 6 youth opportunity centers located throughout the county. On the handout that you guys have on the table, our website is on the bottom. And those where those youth opportunity centers are located. But if you haven't ever been to one, I encourage you to do so. You can always reach out to me and I can give you guys a tour. They have a lot of great programs there. Youth can walk in at any time. Sometimes they have like community rooms where like youth can play basketball, or they have just like snacks for them, computers that they can use. But they really connect youth to work experience programs, apprenticeships, like internship opportunities and like short-term work experience, and also career technical education. They get very involved with case management with the youth, do assessments and kind of help them determine a career path. One of the things I'd like to highlight is roughly 80% of the youth that enroll in our programs are either connected to higher level education or some type of employment. So really good return of investment there. So last but certainly not least, and again, that's where we'll spend most of our time talking about, is our adult job seeker services. So we have 4 of what we call America's Job Centers throughout Riverside County. The closest one to where we are right now is in Riverside. Then we have Moreno Valley, Indio, and Hemet. So essentially anybody from the community can come into those centers at any time. We have public facing computers where people can print, they can use the internet. Pretty much they can do anything related to job search. So whether that's building their resume, doing research, whatever it is that they need. It's a nice cool place in the summertime for people to come in and use, nice and quiet. And then there's also team members that are on site that can help. A lot of times people come in and they don't know how to save a document or convert to a PDF, or sometimes even do spell check, so we can help walk them through that. And then for our residents that need like a little bit more assistance, we can informally enroll them in our programs. Typically, we're federally funded, and they can be assigned to a career counselor. A career counselor will sit down with them, do further assessments, and help them determine a career pathway that they're interested in, with the goal of ultimately helping them become completely self-sufficient. One of our more popular programs to our adult job seekers is we can pay up to $8,000 for career technical education. You can see on the graph that I'm showing you guys here, healthcare is really popular right now, which is good. It leads people to, an in-demand industry and also higher pay. So we can help somebody that wants to become an emergency medical technician, a licensed vocational nurse, and there's so many different options. We work a lot in like the IT sector, sometimes, construction, you name it. We have like 200 and something options for career technical education. It's all done through private training providers or through the community colleges. We don't do the training ourselves, but we help pay the tuition. We can also help with supportive services. And, here's, I think, where it really benefits the community, because a lot of times we have residents that they need to get over that hurdle. And so we can help with things like transportation, like short-term childcare payments. We've even bought new tires, for somebody's car, or help them replace their brakes, and make them get very, very innovative on what we can do. But sometimes just that extra help really gets somebody over that hurdle. Right now, about 75% of our adult job seekers that utilize our services go in either complete training and go into permanent employment, or go from not having a job to permanent employment. A lot of times when I give these presentations, the questions always come up about eligibility, income requirements, and things like that. And what I usually say is, if you want to refer somebody to our center, go ahead and do it. Don't worry so much about the eligibility right now. Let us worry about that part, because we have so many different programs, so many different parameters, and it just gets way too confusing. So, and I guarantee if somebody does not have a job and they are low income, we will have something that fits their parameters. Yes, Ms. Wallace.
I got a question. So this program is not the 24 and under, this is over.
This is for adults, yes.
Okay.
So this is 18 and over. That's a great question. So our youth opportunity centers serve 16 to 24. I highly recommend that if you have clients that you're working with or community members that are in that age range, that they do utilize the youth opportunity centers, because they do have programs beyond what we have. But a lot of times we get kids 18, 19, 20 years old, they come in, they know what they want to do. They want to be a firefighter, an EMT, and we can go ahead and enroll them too. So yeah, really great programs, but that's a great question. Typically, I mean, we over more than double what we put back into the economy and wages versus what we spend on case management and sending our clients to training. So the programs do have a really good return of investment, and they are highly successful. We do have like vocational assessments that we can provide residents with. So a lot of things that encourage people to come in and use our services. We also have special grants. Those change quite frequently where we can focus on specific populations. So right now we have a grant, it's called Prison to Employment for those that are justice involved. We have a grant that is designed just to upskill people in the clean tech industry. We have various youth grants. The last one that I do want to bring on, and I also want to thank the commission, I think in the last board meeting, it was awarded for us to get part of the CSBG funds to help individuals that are experiencing homelessness. And I will tell you that those funds have been extremely helpful because the programs that I just talked to you about, they're federally funded, and federally funded programs do come with a lot of parameters that sometimes, like the enrollment phase, takes a lot of time and things like that. These dollars have allowed us to be a little bit more flexible in terms of case management. So today we placed 3 people alone into employment. So we have case managers that are just working with the specific population, again, individuals experiencing homelessness. Some have just been placed into temporary housing. We had a customer last week, and I don't know if Emma was gonna show the video.
Yeah.
It was gonna show a video today of a success story. And just to give you guys kind of an example of what the funding is going for. So one of the young ladies today that our career coaching is assisting, she is experiencing homelessness, had a storage. Her storage was locked by the owner of the company because she was behind on her bills, but her ID was in there. And so we all know that you need an ID to be able to get a job. So we were able to pay the back fees to the storage, have it unlocked, get her ID out today, and I'm told that she has an interview on Monday. So these dollars are really, really going a long way. Yes, Ms. Wallace.
My other question is, so does this program, what do you do, like if people are coming out of jail or prison and want help? Have you had any experience with people coming in?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So we have programs that are specifically for people that are justice involved, and you know, how we handle the situation depends. We have clients that have been in like federal penitentiary for 20+ years. So imagine, you know, you've been incarcerated for that amount of time, you're very behind on technology, things like that. So we help them get up to speed. We really assess where the client's at. A lot of times people in incarceration, they do learn skills that we can, you know, feed on top of, get them additional certifications and get them into employment. So it depends on the customer, but we usually send them to some type of career technical training.
I know, I just want, you know.
You wanted to
people
hear?
No, I already know
Yeah.
about it, but I just want people, they don't know, now they know.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So that is a high level overview of the programs that we offer, but I'm happy to answer any specific questions that the commission might have.
Any questions?
Yes,
How is
Online
this,
questions? Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
how is it advertised?
that's a good question. So we advertise a lot on social media, with the school districts, with our community-based organizations, foster care programs, other county agencies. We've done ads like in the paper before, not marketing ads, but like we've run press releases when we get special funding. A bunch of different avenues.
What's the social media?
Social media I will email that out to you. I don't have it memorized, but we can email that out.
Thank you.
I think it's important to also highlight that you run out of funds, so the demand is greater than your resources.
Yes.
So please share with us.
Yeah, so as Heidi was saying, so our federally funded programs have been pretty flat for like 10 years. And so about twice a year, we have to put training on hold because we do run out of dollars. It's not keeping up with inflation right now. So any investment that goes towards workforce services is huge and critical right now. We are definitely advocating, at the federal level for additional money and for these programs to also continue right now. So hopefully, we are successful and can continue.
You have
Question?
partnered with RCOE, correct?
Oh, yeah, many
Okay,
times.
so
They're one of our
let's make sure.
strongest partners.
It's the Foster Youth Initiative. I just wanted to make
Yes,
sure. Okay,
absolutely.
perfect.
And Eric?
Yes, hi, thank you. And thank you for the presentation. And I've benefited from one of these programs in the past. So you guys are doing really great work. So thank you. My question in looking at your the chart here, so it looks like over half of the job seekers are going into healthcare. So are we doing anything to help people or encourage them to go into other industries? And then
Absolutely.
my,
Oh, go ahead.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Eric.
no, you go ahead, because then I just have another question. Thank you.
Me too. So we have special grants that go towards specific sectors. I know I just mentioned the one that goes into clean energy. We also have special grants that work with like manufacturing occasionally. So it just depends on, what the client's wishes are too. Because I mean, we want to put them into a sector that's in demand where they're going to get a job, but also something that they're interested in. I will say post-COVID, or actually during COVID and post-COVID, healthcare has blown up with a lot of people showing interest in that field. And then again, there's always, hospitals and various organizations that are hiring in that sector.
Yeah, I visited the office. I shouldn't say visited. I was a client, I think, in the office in Hemet at one time, and I got a lot out of it. And then my other question, the last question, are there any specific groups or communities that we're struggling to reach? I know somebody mentioned outreach, I think, at the table. So how can we better support them if they're I'm out of District 5, and I'm around Hemet and San Jacinto.
I will just say that anytime that you're at events, we have marketing material that I can actually maybe have Emma email out to you. It's just, very, very basic flyers to really help us market. If it's large community events, we're usually there with like some type of table talking to the community ourselves, and we're happy to come out. So just any opportunity where we can be present, speak about our services, such as like right here, please invite us.
Thank you, Doreen.
Hello. I have a question. Hello? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
Yeah.
Okay. You probably said it, but maybe I didn't capture it correctly. These are two type of programs. One of them are under 24 years old, and one is for 18 and unlimited. Is that correct, or I misunderstood?
That is very correct.
Okay. Now, the reason I'm saying is because there are two homelesses, and I think I talked to Commissioner Perez before, that I see by Lake Elsinore, by the lake. And I don't know if he's over 24. He's really humble. Well, I see them all the time and my heart goes to him. But a lot of people tell me he's happy being homeless. And but he's in Lake Elsinore. And Eric mentioned something about Hemet. So location-wise, given the case that everything it can be that I can guide him, or I can communicate with Commissioner Perez and do something about it. Do they have these locations everywhere in Riverside, or is it only in specifically locations?
That's a great question. So we do have career coaches that are scattered throughout the community. But in Lake Elsinore, we also do have a youth opportunity center that sounds like it might be something for him to take advantage of. So we can also connect with our homeless outreach teams to make sure that they have, to see if they come across anybody around the lake area. Also to see if they're interested in services, but then you can, my number is on here, my direct line. So if it's somebody that you're in contact with, feel free to give them my number if they have access to a home.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Doreen. Ariane?
Thank you, Greg. And thank you, Stephanie, for the presentation. You guys do amazing work. So I just wanted to uplift and highlight the amazing work that we do see here in the Coachella Valley specifically. My questions, just circling back to the funding aspect of these opportunities for folks. Typically, when is funding released? Like, what would be the most appropriate time for somebody to access this before the funding dries up, right?
That's a good question. So funding is released, we usually receive our funding cycles around October and then again in March. It's a little confusing with these programs. So around those times are really good times to make sure you contact us.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Nothing. Thank you very much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
Good job. All right, moving to item 4.2 is the partnership and MOUs. Emma.
Yeah, so we are delighted to share that we are going to be partnering with the Riverside County Department of Child Support Services. We have recently entered into an MOU with them to provide backpacks for the upcoming school year. So they will be having a backpack giveaway. We are inviting any of our commissioners to participate, and there's two specific events. One where we'll be putting together the backpacks, and then a second event where we will be distributing the backpacks in the community. The event will be here in the city of Riverside. Am I saying that? Okay. In the city of Riverside. So if you are interested, please let us know. I believe you already sent out a communication, correct? Or you're getting ready. So she's getting ready to send out a formal communication via email to the commission. So if you are interested, please reply back. We would love to have you join us if you are able to.
Questions?
Yes.
Sorry. All right, and moving on to item number 5 is old business. So 5.1 is the CAC bylaws update.
Yeah, so this is a quick update. Just wanted to make sure everyone was aware that the bylaws as amended, we had voted last meeting for some last minute amendments, went to the Board of Supervisors and they were adopted on June 23rd. So those bylaws have been updated on our website and are available for viewing. They're also linked on the agenda for you.
Any questions at all? All right, moving on to item 6, new business is the organization standards discussion. Item 6.11, first assessment due August 31st.
Yeah, again, just an update to the commission. We have our organizational standards that we will be submitting to the state and working with Susan. Uni is our CSBG project manager, so she has been working diligently to make sure that those updates are included and completed to the state. So we will have our plan into the state before August 31st. And we've included some documents just for your information if you'd like to access them to view. No action is required. We're just providing an update to the commission on this action.
Any questions? Seeing none, we'll move to 6.2, which is CSBG 2026 on-site monitoring.
So as Susan mentioned, we are going to have a state on-site monitoring. This is a procedural thing that CSBG requires. So we are preparing for that. We feel really good about the monitoring and where we stand, hoping for no findings, no comments, just smooth sailing. So Uni's been working really hard to make sure that we have all of our policies and procedures updated and in compliance with CSBG. Susan has been a great resource to make sure that everything that we have in order meets the requirements. We will be providing the commission an update at our October meeting. Hopefully we will have the feedback from Susan or our preliminary report, but we'll give you a feedback, or excuse me, we'll give you an update as to where we stand and provide you whatever information the state has at that time.
Thank you, Uni.
Yeah, and should I just go down? Okay. And for 6.3, we, as part of the process of preparing for our on-site monitoring, we have revised our customer service survey. And so that was revised in May and released in June. And so it's gone out by email. We also developed a flyer and posted it on our website. There's no action required, just information only. Did you send out the survey to the commission? Yeah, and we've also.
In the flyer.
She good.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Okay.
When does that close? And
It's just ongoing.
okay.
Yeah, ongoing.
Any questions? Moving on to item 7 is the standing items, and 7.1 is the executive director's update.
Yes, so excited to be able to provide you with this update. Wait for you need to put that up on the. Right, so jumping into our 2025 CSBG allocation, which was provided to the Office of Homeless Services for eviction prevention. So I am thrilled to report back to the commission that we were able. We were able to provide services, eviction prevention services to 95 clients. So if you recall, we only had about a 4-month period to actually expend this funding. So really a phenomenal job by our partners. We worked with RUHS Behavioral Health, who actually manages our coordinated entry system for our homeless housing hotline. We also partnered with Office on Aging to target seniors and adult protective services through our Department of Public Social Services, specifically to target homeless seniors and those that were at risk of homelessness. So we were able to spend all of the funds, which is great. We never want to leave dollars on the table. And most importantly, I have 2 testimonials to share. I wasn't able to get photos. One individual wanted to remain anonymous, but I'd like to share with you the testimonial that they provided. So this individual will remain anonymous, and she writes, I am a young woman over 55 years old, but less than 60 years old. For the first time ever in my life, back in September 2025, I became very seriously ill. I went to the doctor's appointment after working half day at my previous job. I took an ordered CT scan because I advised my doctor of having very painful chest pain for a few weeks and ankles and calves that were swollen like pineapples where I couldn't wear comfortable shoes. I have a high pain tolerance and it's very hard to take off work for illness prevention. I left my doctor's office after doing the CT scan and didn't even make it home. He asked me, didn't make it home. He asked me if my vision was blurry and I said yes. He asked how bad my chest pain was and I said 12. He said, if you are already too far away, pull over and call 911. So I made it back to my doctor's office and they immediately admitted me to the hospital. I stayed in the hospital for 9 days. I had pneumonia in both lungs and apparently suffering a mild stroke. It was just me and my 3 fur babies. I was stressed and so worried since my job did not pay into state disability. I had no sick time and no vacation. I had absolutely no money and rent was due. I had already received a 3-day notice and threats of eviction. I lived where I am for over 8 years. I applied for Social Security, which is a joke and absolutely, in my opinion, 65% of the reason why people are homeless. Social Security takes our money, sends statements about all money taken, then regulates if you get it or not. Said, I believe in God. I believe God is always in control, even in the darkness. He's always sends a reminder, a light to us, so we know he loves us, sees us, and hears us. Amy, the team, and most of Christina are a blessings light from God. And she's referring to the RUHS team. My first interactions with Amy were absolutely amazing. She is kind, sympathetic, informative, and helpful. She helped start the process to get help for rent and lights. My next interactions were and are with Christina and a few other team members. Although I felt so hopeless and embarrassed, they never made me feel less than human. Even with the tough questions that had to be asked to get the help I needed, Christina is so kind, sympathetic, caring, supportive. I'm so grateful and thankful beyond words for the team. I'm not sure what is going to happen, but I'm so grateful and thankful beyond words that while I deal with these serious health conditions, my fur babies and I are not homeless. If I would have lost or had to give up my fur babies, there are no words. I have passed on information to others in regards to OHS and my experience in hopes of being a little light to even in the midst of it all. I am aware there are people going through far more than me. Thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful and thankful for my experience. Prayers and blessings and funding always. Okay. Any questions or comments about? All right.
Eric?
Finish.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to work my computer. Yeah, thank you. I just have a couple of questions. I was trying to add that up. Looks like maybe 95 clients across those agencies. What are the plans to reach more people if the funding continues?
So this was one-time funding. So the program will not continue through 2026.
Oh, okay. Well, then that changes things because my next question was going to be, are we measuring the success of the eviction prevention program and beyond?
Yeah, it is a huge need and something that we're constantly aware of and looking for additional funding. So I know the Office of Homeless Services is tracking the data and they're also actively looking for additional funding at the state and federal level to help support these efforts.
And then one last question, as far as, are there any gaps as far as I see the at-risk senior populations, are there any other populations that don't fit into the specific categories?
So there are, and the Department of Behavioral Health through our coordinated entry system, those 33 clients are representative of all other populations that weren't seniors. So families, individuals, anyone who met the criteria for the funding that called in through behavioral health received assistance.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments on that?
Noted. Okay, and an update on our Pathway to Home program. So we are in an MOU with the Office of Homeless Services and Workforce Development for the Pathway to Home. We had a pretty in-depth presentation at the last meeting on the program. So it's my pleasure to update the commission and share that Stephanie's workforce development team has received 21 referrals thus far through the system and is currently working with many individuals in different phases to connect them to different programs. I'd like to share and highlight one success story and hopefully. Yes.
You're in my car.
Give us just a second. We're having some technical difficulties here.
Man, next month's gonna be a year. Living in my car, man, next month's gonna be a year. Harsh, yeah, you know, living out there, you know, getting odd jobs, trying to stay afloat. I'm a journeyman carpenter and been doing it for like 17 plus years. Looking for work, but you know, sometimes you don't have the proper equipment, clothes and whatnot. And just, you know, just having a roof over your head, man, basic necessities sometimes are key to maintaining that job. And that was my situation, and then I programmed Pathway to Home. And man, that just, it changed, like, drastically. Yeah, getting me the tools and job offers. It's cool, man, it's unbelievable. It's great, man, that there's a program out there like that. I was feeling elated, bro. It's just like, you know, back on the grind again, man. Do my thing. I got a job coming up for Tesla, actually. I'm on board, I'm already hired, and just waiting on my next orientation date to start that, and we're gonna build a facility for Tesla, and proud to be even part of it. The tools are just key for my job. You know, I have the skills, but sometimes, you know, you need the tools. The tools are just are part of the process. They're instrumental to what I do. Pathway to Home, workforce development, man, they're spot on, man. They come through. They really did. They came through, and you know, I was a little bit hesitant, but solid. Yeah, that's just really cool, man.
So as you can see, these programs are really vital and really impactful. I'd also like to share, we currently have 2 participants that are enrolled in food handler courses. We know of 1 participant that's enrolled in a health staff medical billing program, yet another participant that's enrolled in a cybersecurity program. And many others that are being impacted and helped towards stability through our partnership with Office of Homeless Services and their work referring these clients over to workforce development. So truly impactful work. And I'm just so proud, and you all should be proud as well as a commission, because it takes all of us to be able to do work like this. And we have 1 other participant that is going to be going into a cosmetology program as well. So just really great work that's being done through this funding. Did you have anything else?
No, just, you know, thank you again for approving the program. And as you can see, it's gone a long way. So excited to share more success stories as the year goes on.
All right, and I also wanted to share a few testimonial videos of our weatherization program, because I just, you know, sharing statistics is one thing, but being able to see and hear from the individuals that are being impacted by our programs just really goes a long way. So we have Sharon, who is a resident of the city of Canyon Lake in District 3.
Sharon Mattis, and my name's Sharon Mattis, and I live in Canyon Lake, California. And I'm a senior citizen. I'm on an income that's very low. My son also is, he's disabled, and my heating system was from 1970. So when I would have people come out like Edison, they'd open it up and they'd start laughing. they'd say, this is a dinosaur. Edison had come out and they really couldn't help me with anything, and they suggested that I call Community Action in Riverside. So hot weather, I could be over 300. Sometimes August, September could be up to 4. And there's a big difference. The insulation, it has made a tremendous difference. One other thing I did get, I got a whole house fan. In the mornings, I turn that on, bring in all the cool air. Sometimes I don't even have to turn on the air conditioning. It's wonderful. Financially, it's noticeable. They all have been tremendously nice to me, very polite, very helpful, and beyond what I even thought I would get. I got 2 new front doors, washer and dryer, dishwasher, stove, and then a whole HVAC system, plus insulation in the attic, and new ducting. Oh, there's a big difference. Community Action, and every one of them, polite, kind. I would recommend them to everybody. They're wonderful. Helped me financially, being comfortable. We're in a hot desert area, so the house really needed that help. It feels good. It feels fabulous.
Elena Macías, he vivido en esta ciudad como 47 años, pues que tenía necesidad de poner el aire acondicionado porque no servía, y el calentón, y pues lo que yo agarro no es suficiente para cubrir esos gastos, y esa fue la razón de que apliqué para que me ayudara. Pues como yo soy sola, ¿verdad? No sabía qué hacer. No sabía qué hacer y llegó este programa y apliqué. Pues lo más importante en mi vida fue el aire acondicionado, el calentón, el boiler. Pues me sentí muy tranquila, muy contenta, por la razón de que no tuve que hacer ningún gasto yo. Y realmente pues no lo tenía para hacer esos gastos. Me sentí tranquila, contenta, feliz. Pues sí, me siento más tranquila por la razón de que padecía como de no puedo estar mucho en lo caliente porque no puedo respirar. Y esa fue una gran ayuda muy grande para mí, que me sentí muy contenta por esa razón. Porque realmente si no hubiera sido por eso, pues no sabría explicarme en qué situación estuviera ahorita. Muchas gracias doy por ello, porque fue una gran ayuda para mí y una tranquilidad muy grande recibir esa ayuda de ustedes. Y estoy muy agradecido con eso. Estoy muy agradecida con el condado de Riverside por los arreglos que hicieron en mi casa.
We'll go ahead and move into our impact report, which is the last item that I'm presenting as part of my update to the commission. I want to note that this impact report you will see is from 24-25, and we will be providing an update for 25-26 since the year just ended. So that report will be provided at the next commission meeting. Okay. All right, so we had 182 total homes that were weatherized in the 24-25 fiscal year. We also had a total energy savings per dollar invested of $530,851 and an annual energy savings per home of $67,704 collectively. We had 13,534 households that we assisted with utility assistance. And that amounted to a total of $7,750,951. And our cool and warm centers had 41,642 visitors during that year as well. So just wanted to highlight some of the work and the impact that we had in the community during that year. Next slide, please.
Emma, can I ask a question on
Yeah.
that? Sorry, and has this already gone out like publicly or anything yet?
It was posted publicly, but we haven't like put it on social media.
Okay, I was like, there's just one tiny thing, the $67,000, it says per home, which my brain was like, damn.
Collectively.
I was like, just if it can be edited to say kind of collectively or anything.
Thank you.
It made sense when you said it, but when I looked at it, I was like, what is going on?
So you said collectively, I'm like, we, okay.
Thank you for that. And moving on to our strategic goals. So these strategic goals are specifically tied to the community needs assessment that was done. We are going to be going into planning in the coming year for our revised community needs assessments. You'll be hearing more from us regarding that, but wanted to provide you an update. We had 3 goals. First goal was related to building family financial stability and energy security. And so we looked at all of our programs and determined the impact that we were able to have. And if you look on the right-hand side with status, you notice that almost all, so we had 8 metrics and 7 of the 8 were showing as on track. I do want to note that the one that's showing progress with constraints was specific to our energy assistance and efficiency for low-income households. And the reason why it was showing progress with constraints was due to a decrease to the continued work from previous years, and that was specifically tied to funding and lack of funding or delayed funding from the federal government, and also a significant reduction in staff and a new scope of work in our weatherization program that limited the amount of homes that qualified for our weatherization program. But despite that, we showed positive progress towards all of our goals there. You see our VITA program and the impact that we had there. We were able to get back more in terms of dollars on tax returns from 2023, 24 to 24, 25. And if you notice, our Cool and Warm Center visitors were also up from the previous year. If you look at the participants and residents for mediation services, that decline was tied to cancellation of court cases and also workshops. But despite these changes, the program still successfully met all of its goals and continued to demonstrate a strong overall performance. Moving on to goal number 2, which was capacity building, partnership, and leveraging resources. You also notice that all but one of those metrics is showing as on track. And in terms of active partners, we did maintain and grow partnerships across the county. And we maintained the baseline network while deliberately consolidating due to funding and staff. So we did reduce some of the programs and the footprint, which did show a reduction in the total partnerships that we had as a result. But if you notice, the rest of the metrics there are on track. And then moving on to goal 3, operational resilience and infrastructure. This was really tied to professional development. And so we were on track there and wanted to highlight a footnote there that in 24 and 25, staff across all levels from administrative assistants to supervisors and managers participated in an expanded professional enhancement professional development opportunities that strengthen individual skills and overall enhanced program capacity. The entire weatherization team completed an intensive 30-hour bronze lean training, earning certificates of completion and building a stronger foundation for process improvement and service efficiency. In addition, team members broadened their field expertise by attending professional in-person conference in Orange County, furthering support the department's commitment to continuous improvement and high-quality service delivery. So if you look at overall of the metric and goal 1 of the 8 metrics, we made 7. Goal 2, 4 metrics, we were on track for 3, and for the final goal, we met 1 of 1. Again, this is for prior year. The immediate year that we just closed out, we'll be providing a similar update at the next commission meeting. And moving forward, we will be providing impact reports on an annual basis to the commission. And we're open to any questions, feedback. If there is specific information that you would like to see, please let us know. This is work in progress and something new that we're introducing for the commission. Yes, Commissioner Wallace.
I have a question. So a lot of, because, and Bravo Community Action Company, Van and helping us out. My question is, a lot of the residents has gotten, okay, their bills have been paid some, but then they been getting calls. Where did this other extra money come from?
Are you referring to the utility assistance? So we received a supplemental light heat allocation that has allowed us to essentially almost double the benefit of participants that qualify for the services. So that's where the double, and we don't always get that funding, and we got it later in the year this year. So, yeah.
Eric?
Yes, thank you. I wanted to ask a couple of questions and then just go back a little bit. I noticed on the under the family goal 1, it's marked with the progress and constraints due to, it looks like there was a decrease. Did you talk about that? Can you explain the main factors that sort of drove the decline, or the reason why there was a decline?
Yeah, so I mentioned that we had a reduction in funding, and also the funding was delayed. And so there was a period of time where weatherization services were not being performed.
Okay, I kind of want to ask, what does that mean, but I'll leave it alone. And then I saw that, and you did mention this about the 11 of the 13 are on track. And so are there any lessons learned based from the 2 goals that were facing constraints?
You know, I think there are always nuggets there that can be used as learning opportunities. The 2 progress with constraints, and I'm looking down because I have a document that has a little bit more information than what's shown on the screen, are really tied to capacity. And so, you know, it's difficult to sort of solve for that when really what's needed is additional funding support, right? So whenever we lose funding, unfortunately, services have to be reduced or terminated depending on how much of that funding is dependent or how much of those services is dependent on that funding.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. And I just have 2 questions. If I can go back to the weatherization program, and the testimonial videos were great. And I know myself, and I know Commissioner Wallace, her social media, and I'm curious, are we able as commissioners to share those videos on our platforms? Or are they only exclusively to CAPS?
No, you can share them. We haven't made them available through our social media just yet. So you guys are actually seeing them for the first time. I'm going to be working with Nathan, our PIO, to get those packaged and on our social media. And then from there, you guys are more than willing to share them out and on your socials, and however you wish to share them.
Okay, I'm sorry. And then one last question. As far as now, it looks like I think it was only a couple of districts that were shown. How are we? I'm from District 5, and do we have any success stories here? And I know you said this program is the testimonials or the video processing is fairly a new process. So are we going to capture all districts at some point?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are working on that. I have tasked the team with identifying individuals because we have to get permission. So we do have jobs that we've done in those districts. The individuals just didn't agree to participate in the videos, but I have asked the team to please meet with the individuals, talk to them, see if we can get people from each of the districts so that we can have videos across the entire county. We are in the middle of doing eligibility and intake for a property in Banning Beaumont, which is in District 5. So I'm hoping that a couple of those individuals will agree, and we can film them in the next, probably like 3 to 4 weeks as we start doing the work with them.
Lisa?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I know I said I have one question, but the reason why I think the testimonials are so great, because in my community, when I see the folk, maybe it's a third party or contractors that come out and they'll knock on doors and say, oh, do you want to upgrade? And a lot of people in my community are kind of untrusting and sort of kind of, because these people are randomly knocking at their door. But if they can come out with and end up with great, new machines or new products for their home, I think this is a great idea. But again, the more they know, the better they are equipped. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lisa?
Thank you, Chair. I have a question about the flyer on the annual report on the utility assisted homes. Did that include water, or was that funding come out later?
No, that did not include water. Yeah.
And other questions? Yes.
Just a question on the video. I know that you did them and you're working with the PIO. Are you guys going to be putting any graphics or anything on there? I just think it could be really powerful to include information like when they're talking about we received, and then it's like refrigerator, HVAC, or whatever, just kind of listing it, and even listing like what it cost us as the commission or as the county, to include like what the cost is, not necessarily to brag, but just to show like, this is what it costs, this is what people are struggling with, and this program is able to do that. If that's something you can't do, if you guys are like, no, we don't want to do that, that's fine. I'm just throwing it out there, because people need like those visual cues to be like, oh wow, wait, what? And then get their attention a little bit more. But I love the videos.
I'm not like a creative type in that way, so I so appreciate the feedback. I'm like, oh, that'd be really great.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't know if I don't know who, someone that can get in there, throw it in Canva, and just add them. I'm like,
Yeah.
They do it.
okay, there we go. I'm like, somebody.
Thank you.
So I understand that better than any other. Oh. I don't.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, and then, you can understand the impact, like, wow, they just saved them $80,000. Like, wow, I need that. How do I sign up? And,
Moving on to 7.2 is the grant financial performance report. Brandon?
Hello, everybody. Great to see you all again. And this is a standing item, but I will remain seated. And I will make that joke every time.
Touche.
So we of course have some good news to start off with. We have our 2025 CSBG. We've got our favorite color green right there. That grant is completely fully spent. The last piece of that was that subcontractor funding for the Office of Homeless Services that Emma told you about earlier, that we helped 95 people through those partnerships with Office on Aging, DPSS, and RUHS. And so all that is left is for us to submit that final claim to the state. So Susan at CSD, get ready for that. And then we're good here on our 2025 and we can move on to 2026. So 2026 CSBG, as you can see, we are going along pretty well here. We've spent about 2 million of this, I would say, is our admin and program costs, other than those programs that we're giving to Office of Homeless Services and Workforce Development. So we're about a quarter of the way through there. That last million for Office of Homeless Services and our friends at Workforce Development, as Emma stated, we've already started to serve those clients. Just takes a little extra time to get the paperwork on the back end. So when all the boring stuff happens, then those numbers will start to fill in. But the exciting part is already underway. And then we have our energy grants. We are making very good progress on our LIHEAP grant as well. A deadline for that is going to be January 31st. So we are about a third of the way through on that one. And as mentioned as well, we have our supplemental LIHEAP, which has really been able to help so many people as well. So the numbers are going to be starting to come in. This is as of May 31st. So SLIHEAP had just been launched at the time. So next time you're going to see a lot better numbers, thanks to the help we've been providing to folks in Banning and Elsa. Yes, always happy to help. I know it's very tough over there with what's going on. Department of Energy grants as well. We were starting to really move forward with a lot of those jobs. So this number has ticked up a little bit from last time, and in the upcoming, I'd say 6 months to a year, we're going to see a lot of those jobs come through. And so a lot of heavy spending is going to be coming up in that next period with our DOE IIJA funding. And another small grant here for our weatherization assistance program that we're about 10% of the way through as well. And finally, we have our smaller grants as well, small but mighty. The Dispute Resolution Program Act. We are definitely making use of that funding, and it's incredible because the amount of impact money it saves is so much more than what it is. And that's what, very nice. We love the DARPA program. It's small but mighty. I love that impact. And that is something I definitely want to at some point make this report a little more interesting and put that impact in there as well. We also got some funding from organization Golden State Opportunity to provide outreach and assistance with people filing their tax returns for earned income tax credits. So as of May 31st, we had about close to half of that spent. So the services have all been provided and we're just settling the final paperwork. So we probably will see green on that by next meeting.
Brandon, I have a question. So since the tax, the pilot program wasn't done completely this year, was money saved?
So we did not receive the VITA grant that we had received in previous years, unfortunately.
Is that why it wasn't done?
Yeah, and that's why we took a more indirect approach. Instead of really operating VITA by ourselves, Emma helped us to lead working with a lot of agencies. And some of those agencies did get assistance through this GSO grant as well.
Oh, so question, but with this grant, did it still help people that, like what VITA does for people?
Yes. And a good portion of it went to, a couple of our sites. I think it was between 2 and 4 of our sites. Got a good amount of this money to help out as well, with providing those tax returns. And finally, our cool and warm centers, just got to settle those final invoices with the Regional Access Project, and more green there.
Any questions for Brandon?
Can we go back to the the infrastructure, the page just before? What are the infrastructure investment dollars going to?
This is specific to weatherization.
So the housing,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah. Energy efficiency upgrades to the homes.
Were you thinking roads and water?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think there is a portion, because it falls under that legislation, so this one's specific, the funding that we get is specific to weatherization, but IJA is it's a bill that was passed, and there is like funding for other types of infrastructure. It's just not through us.
Gotcha.
That's what it states for roads, bridges,
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate the report.
I did want to mention, you will potentially be seeing an update to this report with the cool and warm centers. I did get notice that there was a federal funding source that we were receiving in the past that had been placed on hold because of the changes in administration. And we may be receiving some additional dollars to help support our cool and warm centers. So I haven't gotten an official letter, but just verbally told that that may be coming in the next few months. So I'll update you once I get more information.
Thank you. Item 7.3 is the TAP Riverside Programs Quarters 3 report. Monica.
Good evening, everybody. We have been very busy, being out in the community. We'll get to see the numbers here shortly, but I did want to highlight I know we were mentioning a couple times what's been happening in Banning, so I just want to make sure everybody's up to speed about the situation that's been going on with the utility assistants. They had some internal issues within the city on being able to bill the customers, so many of them went 3 to 6 months without getting a bill, and then got up to 1 year, and then got surprise bills of anywhere between $2,000 to $7,000. So we have been out there since since February. The utility assistance team has been out there once a month in the city council chambers, hosting clinics on site to help take in applications and assist customers. We've had a regular turnout of at least 40. Last month, we had 90 residents show up to be able to assist with utility assistance, and we're able to try to provide the max benefit we can, which, is $1,500. So compared to the $7,000 bill, there's still a lot of need, but we're trying our best to reach as many customers as we can out there to help make a dent, at least when they have to put it on the payment plan. But the amount that they have to, finance on the payment plan is a little bit lower.
That's why I was saying, hallelujah, I've been with community action for 42 years.
Is there, if we don't know necessarily, but is the city, they're just like, oh, sorry, you have to pay this bill? Like, there's there's nothing.
You want to ask?
I'm not sure where that comes.
So let me explain kind of what happened.
Everyone else.
They should have been in, making sure that a system will work, right? Because we're in the 18th century with our stuff. And at the time, the person that wanted to, in the electric department, went and got this software, and it started messing up the bills. We weren't getting bills, but they did tell people, the ones that the bills are that high is because they stopped paying because they didn't get no bill. But they told us to continue. Just, we don't know how much your bill is, but what you usually pay, just keep paying. Just keep paying. But then people were doing that. And then when they got kind of online, that money went for the previous bill. So then people like, well, we're still not getting the bill. So they just stopped paying altogether. So, it's the city. We take responsibility for it, but still, you have to, you using that electricity, you think you ain't supposed to pay, you know what I mean?
Oh, no, yeah, I totally agree on that point. I'm
Yeah,
just
so
wondering,
it was an internal, somebody messed us up.
So I believe, Monica, you probably have some insight in terms of like what the city's doing to help support.
So the City of Banning Utility, they have a couple different repayment programs, and they also have assistance programs, especially for those that may be on our medical equipment. And so they usually will send a representative each time that we're out there to be on site and work with the customers so that they can duly enroll in our program and the city assistance programs at the same time.
And also, isn't there like a moratorium on shut-offs for some?
Yes, there has been this entire time a moratorium.
The city and they're actually.
But it is coming to an end,
So.
the moratorium on shut-offs.
Yeah, it's coming to an end. I have a big problem with that. They need to let people just catch up because it's gonna be all bad.
Well, especially
Might have a
if they're-
ride in bed.
If they've got a payment plan, you would think they would work with that. So. I have one more question, but I think I forgot it. I'm just kind of like, wow. What other utilities does the city of Banning provide themselves? Because obviously it's the
We
city.
live the electric.
Just the
We just
electric.
have like everything else, Southern California gas, that's.
Is this on?
But we have our own water too. I mean, we have wastewater, water and all that.
So you get a water bill from the city?
The water bill comes on that too.
Okay. So are there issues with that or is that?
So, yeah, it affected everything.
So the city of Banning has one, similar to the city of Riverside, it's one large bill that has different utilities all caked onto one.
Well, yeah, 'cause I'm thinking if they're shutting off the electric, like
They
what
won't
happens
take
with
the
the
water
water?
Mhm.
Oh, they are going to.
Probably, because it's on that bill.
Well, yeah, that's why I was just like, what else?
I would say the majority of the customers have a bundled service with electric, water and sewer, and some, I think, also have trash. There are a few, depending maybe on the outlying areas where they only have electric, but it's the majority, it's a bundled impact. So that's why we were trying to make as, much of a presence as we can to have them be able to apply on site. And luckily, we have a great partnership with an organization out there called Faith in Action, who shows up with printers, laptops, because the biggest issue a lot of our community faces is being able to have copies of all of their documents. And then, for example, SoCal Gas has gone completely paperless. So most people have a hard time getting access to their SoCal Gas bill, which is a requirement to apply for our program. And they did have an office down the street in Banning, but we recently, at our last planning, found out that they closed. So we had some customers trying to travel all the way to Hemet or other cities. But Faith in Action will sit with them on a laptop and be able to access their account, set up an account if they don't have one already, and be able to help them print their bills.
Yeah, when I remember the city of Palm Springs doing that, I had to sit with people too, because they're just like, I don't know, they don't send me anything. I'm like, well, let's get online.
Yes, and I will say that even though the majority of our customers do have a really low SoCal gas bill of anywhere between $16 to $40 a month,
Yeah,
many of them are extremely behind because of this shift to paperless and them not seeing the bill regularly. So when they finally get access to their account, they're seeing bills of anywhere between $500 to $2,000.
Again, we don't have the answer. Okay, do we know for SoCal Gas if they have any options for, like, everyone is paperless, or are there options so like you can receive, like you have to opt in or opt out? Because I understand if it's like, okay, we're automatically saying everyone should be going paperless, but there's plenty of reasons why people don't have computers or what have you, so I'm wondering if there's.
Did you say for gas?
Yeah, for SoCal Gas.
For SoCal Gas, you have to opt in for getting going paperless. Otherwise, it'll automatically, you would do.
Oh, okay, because I thought you just said.
Yeah, most of our customers have experienced the opposite, but
Right, and that's why I was like, is there a way to?
yes, I think that it does. I think it's just difficult for them to get a hold of somebody to be able to
Totally
make
fine,
those
yeah.
changes. Same with Edison.
Yeah, they shut off customer service like 2 years ago.
There's no more local offices, which makes it hard for our customers to be able to set up payment plans. But we've been trying to work with them as much as we can to provide, updated phone numbers for them to contact customer service to stay in the loop to prevent shutoffs, especially during these heat waves.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of customers that are facing that.
Has this also affected the unincorporated areas?
Oh, yeah. Mhm. It's countywide, yeah. I think because, universally, I would say that there has been a very, sharp increase in especially electric charges. And, customers are really struggling to keep up with that. And some companies, City of Riverside, they started lowering the amount that's needed to be disconnected. Before, sometimes they would allow customers to get their bill up to maybe $500, $600, and set up payment plans, but now they're starting to shut people off with as low of a debt as $100. So, given the hot months, we're seeing a lot of people running to our different locations for assistance because they're getting shut off.
Is there a way, I'm so sorry, is there a way for if CAP can't advocate or, you know, something like a statement or something that you put out? Because that feels dangerous that, you know, I understand they want their money, 110%. But also, now I have to actively go there. Now you're not mailing me a bill. Now, you know, I'm just wondering if there's a way for us to advocate, like, or put out a strongly worded letter or something, just like, hey,
At least to help the moratorium.
yeah, I'm like, we stand with the residents, the moratorium should be in place, especially if people are on payment plans. If you're just fully ignoring it, come
Then
on.
that's different.
Come on. If you're on a payment plan, you know,
It seems like.
we know everybody's not working and everyone's losing money and stuff, so I'm just wondering if there's anything.
Seniors in there.
It's the CP, yeah. I know there is, active participation from other agencies and CBOs in the CPUC. Especially, there's a committee for the low income representatives and, I know there's maybe, I think Commissioner Casalone is on that committee. And there might be a couple other partners that actively attend those meetings as well. That's where.
For who? For them. You. Yeah, that's why I asked them to come help us to, you know, but it's. It doesn't need to be a moratorium. It needs to let people pay their stuff. We do have payment plan, but I like her idea, maybe some kind of way other people can come in and help. We have, that is the more senior, well, it's not now, because you have to move it in, but we do have a lot of seniors. And it's affecting, it's not just seniors, it's affecting the people that's buying houses in Atwell and, you know, it just is.
Like if they already are on a payment plan, they shouldn't be cut off.
That's what I'm
That's
wondering,
what I
if
told
there's
you.
any type of way that we can
Don't cut nobody.
say
off
something
on
like,
the
hey, we
plan, but
support
they care.
the residents, is there anything we can do? Because it's a city
Yeah.
error, so how do we, you know, you don't want to punish the people who are actively trying to get out of the
Trying,
hole right now.
At this hole.
I don't know if
It's a hole.
possible, but
Worth
a thought.
get it.
Yeah.
So,
Eric, did you have a question or?
what you mean? Well,
Yeah.
won't help us.
Yeah, I do. So, and I'm trying to listen real closely to the table and, someone mentioned the, about low income sector representatives in a committee. And then, so I just want some clarification on that because I'm wanting to know if possibly I can attend that. But in looking at the performance report and and then I think about, I called the CAP's phone number, trying to do a return phone call, and I got sort of the general phone number or the general line or call-in line. And the recordings, you know, specifically says they're low on funding and they're targeting, you know, they're targeting or looking for their specifics, you know, the funds available, basically, for lack of a better word or term. They're limited and they are, you know, only certain people will qualify. So then when I look at the unspent balances, and then it makes me think about eligibility requirements or are there regulatory compliances? So why the disconnect there? And I'm not trying to challenge you, I'm just curious. And then I'm believing that in the room, they're talking about people being, or I think I heard someone say, they will shut your bill off if you are behind $100. So as a commission, is there some type of, I don't know, policy level adjustments that we can do as a collective, or how do we, you know, make some type of change and address this?
to the first part of the call center, we were implementing a plan where we use priority points on our utility assistance application. And this is when we did have a huge demand and limited funding. But as of next week, that call message that you hear when you call in, it should be getting updated to remove that because we have taken off the priority points, from our eligibility. Now we're just slowly based on income guidelines so that we can address the high need in the community and serve more customers.
Question, is that this survey that just came up on my phone today? Hold on, let me tell you what it is. What is that? I got a survey saying to, it says for high cap volunteers, we kindly request your assistance in collecting the information needed for CSBG annual report. Is that the same thing? No, there's something different. Okay.
Yeah, that I think is either the volunteer hours through Better Impact or the survey.
And if I can address, Eric, on your second point about advocacy, that's best done actually through the California Public Utilities Commission.
Yep.
Our commission doesn't have any legal authority to affect the policy, especially when you're talking about private industry like Southern California Edison. But they are regulated, and a lot of those advocacy efforts can be done through that Public Utilities Commission.
And Commissioner Castellón put the information in the chat.
Is it possible for that to get emailed just for?
Yeah.
We're not on
And Eric, was all your questions answered or was there?
You all.
Are
Yeah,
there any
thank you.
other? Were there any other questions on the utility assistance? Sorry, but Uni, I can't see the number. Ariana? Or Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes, just wanted to clarify the last piece that I think you kind of just alluded to. So starting next week, those folks that would call in, just like as Commissioner Eric just said, will no longer be able to hear that message around the priority points, and then would be able to tap into the funding that is existing and available. Am I understanding that correct?
Yes, our updated recording will be released next week. And then also please note that we are gonna change our call center hours and we're gonna have this posted to the morning, 8 to 12, because we do have a high volume of walk-in customers in the afternoon. So we want to be able to kind of assist everybody, those that are coming into the office and those calling in. So we're trying to make a steady schedule. But we will also be releasing the opportunity for people to schedule appointments virtually. And a new automated phone number where they can say press 1 for Hemet, press 2 for Mecca, and then they'll be able to schedule through an automated call instead of having to wait on hold.
Awesome. Thank you so much for clarifying that.
Next slide. So for the cool and warm centers, I just want to highlight that it's in full bloom right now, obviously with the weather. We have had a high number of customers or participants attending our cool centers. It might not fully reflect here just yet, but Lily, who runs our cool centers, just came back from vacation and was, had over 20 requests for additional waters and snacks because all the cool centers are getting lots of visitors. And luckily our partners with Riverside University Health Systems, they help us do the deliveries and they get them out pretty quickly. But we are seeing a good amount of utilization, which we're happy about because, we want to make sure people have a safe place to go to beat the heat. And it's been consistently hot days across the county. So we're glad to be able to have this program running.
I just want to shout out the city of Palm Springs. A couple weeks ago now, they the Access Center, which is the starting point for the homeless shelter system in the city, they extended their hours until 10 p.m. For the cooling center because it is so hot. So for our unhoused residents, they have somewhere they can stay because previously the Access Center closed at 5. So now it's open until 10 p.m. for folks. And depending on the level of heat, they are going to keep it open overnight for folks, so they're not outside when it's still over 100 at midnight. So
that's awesome. And if anybody at the Access Center would be willing to do a video testimonial, that might be another good opportunity.
Yeah.
But you know, that is a good point. We try to make sure that if our pool centers do extend their hours, to please let us know, because we get multiple inquiries from the press as well. When there's heat advisories, Commissioner or Chair has done a couple interviews for us so far. But if we have this information, we can make sure it gets public so people know where to go, even after 5 o'clock.
It was in not this past city council meeting, but the one before. So I'm like, I know it was in the month of July, this, what day? Yeah, it was on a Wednesday.
And most of the locations are really good about putting signage out that's visible from the street or if you pass by. But please, the information is on our website. We have an interactive GIS map that will, you know, be able to pull up the areas in your whatever city you're looking for. And if you highlight, put your mouse over the dot, it will give you the hours of operation and the point of contact for each center. So if, we have flyers available that we can share that are simple one-pagers with the QR code, so anybody can access this map from, you know, taking the picture of the QR code from their phone. Okay. Next slide is our mediation program. We had a very successful volunteer recognition last quarter, and thank you for the commissioners that did attend and help us present awards to the mediators of the year. Would you like to add anything about the event?
No, I just would like to say thank you to Kat. I am a commissioner and also a mediator, which I love. It was such a nice event. The recognition was wonderful. Being a mediator, we handle so many cases. We also train the new mediators as they come through the program. After they've finished the classroom part, they go through, they do their observation, and then they do co-mediation with us as the certified mediators before they get signed off to be mediators on their own. And the program, as they go through it, they learn so much. We go to the court every week, as much as we want or as much as we sign up for. And then so having the recognition is really encouraging for the new mediators. It's encouraging for us as the seasoned mediators, just to see the appreciation that CAP has for us. And then being on the other side as a commissioner and being able to present my fellow mediators with their certificates, with their Mediator of the Year awards was really nice. And so I want to thank CAP, or thank the commissioners, and also thank CAP as a mediator, and then let my fellow commissioners know how much the mediators appreciate having that recognition luncheon. And it was at the Air Reserve Museum. So that was really a nice treat.
Emily did a great job on that event.
And to play with the theme, it was navigating through conflict, since we were at the Air Museum. And so it was a very well-attended event, and we thank everybody for participating.
Sorry, do we know if there's any districts, maybe it says it on there. Oh, it does say it on there. I was gonna ask if there's any districts that have a need, but mine is one of them, and I figured that, that's why I was asking. For District 4, definitely needed in the courts over there, so, okay.
What court is that?
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs.
I would say that we can discuss, we can follow up with Lily, but I want to say that sometimes we have an influx for volunteers for the snowbirds. So sometimes the number of volunteers and their hours will change depending on the season.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there's not a lot of need in Palm Springs all the time. We'll have mediators show up and there are no cases.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, there's also seasons of it, so just as an FYI, like July, August, well, for everyone else, July, August, and September are the times that people are getting evicted the most, because all of the year-round residents, if they work in hospitality, they've had their hours cut or they've been put on unemployment because there's less people around, so the restaurants close down, they shorten hours and stuff like that, so it's very popular time for evictions to happen.
It's actually small claims that we do, so.
Okay,
We
good.
don't do we don't do those cases.
Something like this, maybe that makes more sense.
The evictions are done through legal aid or
Yes, that Riverside.
legal aid, but also
Fair housing?
fair housing.
Yeah, those don't go.
Not in Palm Springs, FYI, Greg. Not in Palm Springs.
But no, I'm trying to think, it's not legal aid. I mean, legal aid does it, but it's inland.
Yeah, the city and fair housing has to leave. So fair housing does not participate.
So as mentioned before, we did not do the full IRS funded BIDA program this season, but we did still have some CBOs, some organizations that were committed to making sure that the service was still provided, and we did provide some support to them through the GSO funding that we got. We had two sites in particular. One is CET in Coachella, and starting over here in the city of Riverside, that we're able to see customers beyond the April 15th tax deadline. They sought appointments up until the end of June, and there are still a few stragglers that are getting their taxes amended. We are working in conjunction with some foster youth organizations as well to make sure that the foster youth are getting their tax credit and any amendments that they might need as well. And starting over, for those that may not be familiar with that CBO, they specifically work with justice impacted individuals. So they're helping those that have been recently released be able to catch up on their taxes. So they do multiple years and in one appointment. And then we did touch a little bit on utility assistance. We are still trying to take the show on the road, as mentioned at the last commission meeting. We have had a lot of success in places like Banning. And here locally in the city of Riverside, we've done a few locations, senior centers, low-income housing complexes. We have tried to do a couple senior centers in the Menifee area. And let's see, we are also attending clinics in Temecula, but we've had a little bit of a lower turnout. We're trying to figure out different ways to do outreach in those locations. I mean, we are working directly with the senior centers and newsletters, outreach, and we have worked with our partners with the property management, different low-income housing complexes to make sure that the customers or the residents get the flyers about when we're going to be in their areas. But if you have locations where you know the people are going to be at or can help us arrange a clinic to take the show to them, please let us know because we're always willing to go out to the residents themselves. But we just hope that there's a good amount of residents there when we arrive, because a lot of times it does require for them to know ahead of time so that they can have all their documents ready.
And who would we ask about that if we did have somebody?
You can reach out to me, and I can, if you can put my email in the chat.
Thank you.
And then
Typically, how many folks would you get at an event like that?
It depends. Last month, for example, in Banning, we had 90 residents. And then on a typical clinic, we can get anywhere from 30 to 40.
Okay, and they would like set up appointments. Would there be an appointment system, or is it up for like?
It could be walk-in.
A walk-in. Okay, awesome. Yeah.
We would set an hours, like we can say like 9 to 2, and make sure that we have a template flyer that has a list of all the documents that they would need to bring with them.
Yeah.
And we just set up a table and we can do intake on the spot.
Awesome. In the past, we've done immigration clinics at our office. We still continue to host legal immigration clinics at the end of each month in collaboration with San Bernardino Community Service Center, SBCSC for short. And so, yeah, I think I'll circle back to you and see if maybe we can arrange something in our office.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Doreen? You're on mute, Doreen. Doreen, you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. The person that was talking before, on my computer, it keeps saying Unidao. And so whoever talks Emma or the same, I can only identify one person versus another, just the voice. So the person that was talking before about Vita, about mediation, may I know your name, please?
Monica?
Monica. Monica, is it possible that you can get the information from, or just send me your information by email or through Uni? Because I have some questions about Vita and about mediation that I want. I joined not too long ago, and that's one of the fields that I'm interested in becoming a member.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Monica.
Was there any other questions?
No, that's it. Thank you.
For weatherization, we are working specifically on homes that are DOE qualified. And with DOE, there's a little bit of a difference between the general LIHEAP weatherization. And the biggest difference is making sure that the home will be eligible for mechanical ventilation and that they haven't received weatherization services in the last 15 years. So we can't have repeat customers. And the other big factor is that it has to be a single family home. At this time, we're not doing multifamily, which is 4 units or above. Because then that will require a whole nother slew of regulations that the state of California is not fully on board with yet. We are working closely with different programs to identify properties throughout the county. We have quite a few properties in the pipeline. So at the next meeting, those numbers will have jumped up a lot. And we also, with the new fiscal year, just brought on additional subcontractors to make sure that once these projects are subcontractor ready, that we have plenty of workers lined up to get the projects turned around quickly.
Max that you can spend on the homes?
Yes, it's around 8,000. And typically the jobs are in excess of that. So part of the complexity of this funding is that we have to leverage or layer in additional dollars, which are LIHEAP dollars. And so once those dollars are exhausted, then it makes it really difficult for us to continue to spend down these dollars. So.
8,000 doesn't cover
Nothing. No, yeah, especially with the cost of things that increasing as much as they have.
There, and that was it. Any other questions about program before we move on to the next item?
Thanks, Monica. Appreciate that. All right, and so moving to item number 8, these are just informational items. Emma?
Oh, yes, they were just provided for the commission for your information. You can view them at your own personal leisure. We've included a new orientation handbook, which Uni put together and did an amazing job just centralizing all of the information pertaining to commissioner training in one place. And then she also utilized her incredible technical skills to develop a small video that details the county budgeting process. And so we're not going to show the video here, but I would encourage you to watch it. It just essentially goes through what the county does to arrive at their annual budget. So it's like, what, 3 minutes? Maybe less than 5 minutes, but it goes through that high level process of how we get to the department level where we have our funding for the year, and how that process is done across the entire county. So if you've ever been curious about it and you don't want to read the book that was published, you can watch the little video there. So we're trying to make things more engaging, more accessible for you. And I love videos. I'm one that won't read the manual, but if there's a video, I'll watch it. So just making that available for you.
All right, so item 9 is announcements. Any announcements?
I have one quick thing I wanted to share as we are having a discussion on advocacy and what we can do as a commission to be more involved on that front. Our department developed one-pagers that detail the work that's being done in each of our respective divisions. And there was one specific to CAP that I'm going to email everyone. And it includes information regarding our programs, legislative and policy developments, funding risks and legislative requests. And then it also has just some programmatic information. So if you are interacting with our legislators, it's information that you can have at hand to use to be able to advocate for these like higher level things, like we discussed with like legislation regarding when utility companies can shut off utilities, additional dollars that are needed to help continue to support our programs. One of the things is that, you know, like heat funding has fallen significantly since 2023, and, you know, California right now is among the highest electricity rates in the nation. And so just highlighting, uplifting those things to our legislators so that they're aware that there is a need for additional funding. Also, you know, we're asking for a state match in the LIHEAP dollars to help with our weatherization program so that when we run out of the federal dollars, we can lean on the state dollars to continue those efforts. And some other program specific related to CSBG and our other weatherization dollars. So I'll go ahead and send that out to everyone, and please feel free to utilize that at your discretion.
I'm gonna be in a meeting with Sabrina Cervantes on Tuesday, so can.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Any other announcement? If not, our next meeting is October 15th, and we will adjourn at 7:16. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
all.
Good night.
Good night, thank you.
Good night.